Hello comrades, Commissar Bro here today with Elysium Blood Games. That's right, this one's from SimProse Studios. They've done two other text-based games similar to this one, and this is the first one I've actually played. And I'm going to go ahead and be forward. What I've played so far is pretty solid. If you're a fan of text-based kind of management type games, then you're probably going to find something to like here. It's pretty in-depth. It foregoes a lot of the the graphical embellishments and actual gameplay elements for more of a full-on text-based adventure. It's not necessarily like the 10-man, I think it's called 10-man games, like their visual novels. Not quite like that. It's far more of a management type game. And once you start playing it, I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about. Overall, it comes off as relatively simple, yet the game's difficult. It's difficult to win, to say the least. So, with that, and this is probably the second time I've tried taking it. I'm just having trouble with my recording software. So, I'm hoping this one is gonna work. And with that, let me give kind of a basic introduction to the game so you see what I'm talking about. And if you find it as something that you would actually play, go grab it off Steam. I think it's like $5. But anyway, so starting out in the Warrior Barracks, we see here that we've got Brosiv Kombrodian, Falil Namzara, and Rohan Mycedo. Brosiv Kombrodian is our primary fighter, and he's equipped with a cleaver. You can actually give your fighters weapons and so on by actually going to the armory here. As you can see, you can buy various items, repair them, discard them, or whatever, all that good stuff. Various weapons are good at various things. It seems like the Warhammer or the Broadsword tend to be the best weapons, just the Warhammer has more durability. It doesn't seem to really show which one has, like, if it's faster, if it's heavy. It only focuses on the fact that it does improve your damage output. Pretty much. So, with that said, you've got 5 main stats for each fighter. You've got strength, you've got speed, you've got agility, durability, and intangibles. Strength, of course, is how much damage you do. Speed is how fast you are. And like, will you go first? Will you dodge? Stuff like that. Agility affects, again, dodge and accuracy and so on and so forth. Durability is how many hits you can take. And intangibles affects things outside of the arena. Like, pretty much I'm calling it luck and it's like a mixture of luck and charisma. Again, the intangible items that aren't really trained, it just comes natural to your character, I suppose, is the way to describe it. If you want more detail as to what each thing does, you can go here, and it gives you, on each page, literally, you can just click on a page, go to the eye, and it will explain in detail what each one does. So, with that, you've also got favors, right here, as you can see in the Buck Alleyway. Currently active favor, nothing. I have nothing. However, we can pay influence, or favor in this case. Well, no, sorry, yes, an influence cost. You can pay an influence cost to actually use a favor. So in this case, we're going to do Blessing by a Priest. It lasts for 5 days. It gives us +3 stats to all of our people, which is definitely going to be useful. Alright, I don't really care about that screen. Again, this is the primary screen where you're going to be most of the time, the Basilica, and it's to the top right here, as you can see. Now this is pretty much where you can place bets on fights. As you can see here, it gives you odds. It shows you how often they win, how often they lose. It doesn't look like there's any really good bets to bet on right now. Maybe this one. I'm going to put a bet on this Yedith Klocka down here. I'm going to put 100 on him. And Rizal Amphimon. The odds have been against this guy, but there's no doubt about it that he is a sick, nasty little fighter. He keeps on winning. And so with that, I'm going to put bets on these 3 guys in the hopes that we're going to gain it all back. At least, hopefully, one of those guys will win. Oh, and look, we can actually bribe the warrior to throw the fight here. Yeanor Maelma. It looks like Yeanor is better than our own Brosiv Kombrodian in strength, but he is much slower in terms of speed, but he's better at agility. So yeah. You can also upgrade the arenas, move on to different arenas and so on. You can actually upgrade your Ludus to give you passive bonuses. That's kind of the one I'm working on right now. It's +6 to all warrior speeds. And then again, the last one is Bribe. Another thing to probably keep in mind is the actual local tavern notices. Here, not only, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but essentially what it does is if you pay influence towards here, you can increase how much gold you get in the fight, how many people show up to the fight. So what we're going to do to help out our fight a little bit, we're going to pay 2 influence to get a large parchment on the wall and hopefully get us a lot more stuff. And yeah, the last little sheet here pretty much just shows you like stats and stuff like that. It's not all that really interesting. So, without further ado, let's do what everyone's really here for, the fights. That's right. When you start out in a fight, you choose a primary battle attitude. You've got defensive, you've got normal, and you've got full-on go for the kill early on. Now, each one has their benefits, and I tend to be a more defensive fighter. It seems to work out for me. So we're going to stick with defensive and start match. Alright, welcome to today's gladiator match featuring Broseph Combrodian versus Yeonor Maelma and a contest of physical strength and will on this day 7 of the season. It's a blazing hot day in the kingdom today as the 2 participants emerge into the daylight. The crowd cheering wildly for the fight to begin. And boom, let's do this. Both fighters advance with weapons raised, glaring at each other with rage and contempt. And we're going to go with a defensive attack to start off. Yeonor Maelma roars with rage and bloodlust and charges Broseph Combrodian with a sword held high in a killing position. And the opponent raises his sword and swiftly parries aside the killing thrust. Broseph Combrodian spins, kicking at Yeonor Maelma, and the opponent arches his body backward at the last second to avoid the kick. The 2 fighters slowly advance, their blood boiling with warlust. So you can see you have different attacks. You've got a normal attack, defensive attack, lunge attack, and precision vein attack. Precision vein attack has an increased chance to cause bleeding, which obviously will cause people to bleed out over time. A lunge attack is a no-holds-barred, just go in and try to do as much damage as you can, but it leaves you more open to be hit. However, you will do 2 to 4 times the amount of damage you normally would. A defensive attack, obviously, is you kind of hold back, you be very cautious, and you only strike when you think you're going to be able to get them, in the case that you don't get hurt. But it reduces the amount of damage and whatnot. And the normal attack, obviously, is a normal attack. So we're going to go for the normal attack. And it looks like we got jabbed in the stomach, but that's okay because Broseph Combrodian screams with rage and swings at the head of Yeonor Maelma and hits, cutting a deep bloody gash into both cheeks. Yeonor Maelma screams with rage and pain. -12, -9 for us. The 2 warriors circle each other, their expressions wary, limbs held taut. So let's go for a crazy all-out lunge attack. Here we go. Yeonor Maelma roars with rage and bloodlust and charges Broseph Combrodian with a sword held high in a killing position and cuts his stomach a bit, the opponent yelping in pain. But Broseph is like, nah brah, and spins, kicking at Yeonor Maelma, and lands in the warrior's stomach solidly, the opponent expelling air slightly at the force of the blow. They also sustain 1 bleeding damage as well. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So again, another round. So the lunge attack didn't work out for us, but that's okay. We're going to go for a normal attack again. Broseph Combrodian kneels and swings at the legs of Yeonor Maelma and hits, cutting a deep bloody gash into one thigh. Yeonor Maelma screams with rage. Broseph Combrodian screams with battle rage and once again swings his cleaver at Yeonor Maelma, and the opponent barely moves a sign in time. That's right, Yeonor Maelma screams angrily and throws a punch, but we avoided it. Yeonor Maelma charged forward again, gripping his sword tightly and swings wildly at Broseph Combrodian and connects with the stomach in midsection. Holy crap! Oh man, he almost brought us down right there. We're down to 7 health. Oh good Christ. That's alright boys, let's try to finish this one off. Lunge attack! No holds bar, last hit, let's do this! Broseph Combrodian screams with rage and swings at the head. Boom! 12 damage. Oh, down to 1 health. We circle each other. Defensive attack. But it looks like the bleeding got to Yanomama, and he surrendered. We won the fight. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So essentially, that's how this game works. And we won all of our freaking wages. Oh my god. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So we got a bunch of gold. We came out of the fight victorious. And we are just doing great. So, this is Elysium Blood Games. There's more to it. I know I didn't show everything. I just kind of gave you guys a quick introduction to how the game works, and so on and so forth. I hope this is a game you find interesting. I gotta say, I've enjoyed my time with it so far, and you can probably imagine I'm going to keep on playing just to see more stuff that I've missed, and to make the greatest gladiator ludus I possibly could. Anyway, this has been Commissar Bro, and I'll see you guys next time.